Hello, I'm Jacob Daly. Carl Sandburg said, "Valor is a gift. Those having it never know for sure they'll have it when the test comes. And those having it in one test never know for sure they'll have it when the next test comes." What am I talking about? I'm talking about courage. I'm talking about honesty and integrity. And I'm talking about valor. I'm going to go over a lot of different things today. First off, I'm going to go over courage. What does it take to persevere and push past those moments of greatest challenge in our life? I'm going to go over a hero of mine named Colonel Day and how he persevered in his life's greatest challenges and how persevering through those times allowed him to do something that only he could do. Well, the currant bush out there grows to be about 2 to 12 feet tall. And on this currant bush is fruit. Now this fruit only grows on branches that are over 2 years old. So it requires constant pruning and shearing to allow new branches to grow in. Well, there's a story out there done by Hugh Brown. And Hugh Brown tells a story as one morning he walked outside and he looked outside and he saw this currant bush about 6 feet tall that was untaken care of, unpruned. It was going all to wood. And there, he says, I knew what to do. He grabs his shears and he begins chopping away these branches, one by one. Chopping out just a stump. And there he thought he saw a tear fall from this currant bush. And the words in the currant bush said, "Why did you cut me down? I was beginning to become tall. I was about as tall as the fruit tree and about as tall as the shade tree. And now I'm small and everyone will look down at me." And then Hugh Brown responds, "Little currant bush, I am the gardener here and I know what I want you to be. I didn't want you to be a fruit tree or a shade tree. I want you to be a currant bush. And one day you will thank me." Well, years passed by and Hugh Brown found himself an officer in the British Army. He wanted to become a general. He had the seniority, he had passed his evaluations, and he was ready to become a general. Well, the one man that could want to be a general told him, "I'm sorry, I can't make you be a general. You have the seniority, you passed the evaluations, but you can't be a general." Well, Hugh Brown was angered by this, and he went home and thought to himself, why did this happen to me? And he shook his fist angrily at the sky and was like, why did this happen? Why did you cut me down like this? And then the words of his own self came back, saying, "I am the gardener here. I know what I want you to be." There's a poet out there, Ella Wheeler Wilcox, who wrote the words, "It is easy not to be pleasant when life flows by like a song. But the man worthwhile is one who will smile when everything goes dead wrong." One of these type of people that I know was Colonel Day. Colonel Day was a man who persevered through all his challenges in his life. There were several occasions where he should have died and could have died, but didn't. He persevered. There was a time where his plane was leaking fuel. Another time where his engine caught fire and he jumped from his plane and his parachute didn't open. Another time he landed his plane on a runway with zero visibility, still survived. On another occasion, he was shot down over North Vietnam where he became a prisoner of war for 5.5 years. Years later in his autobiography, chapter 15 entitled Crucifixion, he pens the words, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil." Fear no evil? You meathead, you're being crucified. He persevered. He pushed past it all. Here was a man who gave everything he had for his country. Here was a man who loved his country, who stood tall and proud for his country. And then finally, in 1995, the Clinton administration turned their back on him and 1.5 million other U.S. veterans out there, deciding not to cover medical expenses anymore. Well, Colonel Day, outraged by this, and a practicing attorney at the time, filed a class action lawsuit entitled Colonel Bud Day Retired versus William Cohen, Secretary of Defense, and the United States of America. Here was a guy who persevered through all this, pushed past it all, and now was fighting the greatest battle and challenge of his life. He persevered. He fought hard. He preserved those rights that veterans had been promised by passing a bill through Congress called TRICARE for Life. I've gone over a lot of different things today. We've covered courage. We've covered what allows us to persevere through our hard times, what allows us to push past those moments. We've covered a hero of mine, Colonel Day, and how he persevered in some of his greatest challenges and how he was able to do something that only he could do. Thank you for your time.